Hello booktubers, my name is Lauren, you're watching Dreams Books Courage, and today I'm doing a tag and I'm really excited about this one. It was created by Jana Marie and I was tagged by Wish Fulfillment, so I will leave both of their videos down below. And this is the Royal Court tag, which is exactly as it sounds pretty much. It's all about creating your own court out of book characters, and so I'm really excited about doing that. I love reading books in which monarchies are concerned because a lot of times it involves pretty dresses and just complex relationships, and I'm really excited about doing this tag as well, so let's go ahead and get into it. And so the first question is the king, who is supposed to be your favorite male lead. I'm just going to go with who I think would be a great king, and so for that I chose Prince Cal from Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I do think that he'd make an awesome king if he actually was able to step up and not be under his parents' rule, but he really is for equality and he wants to do what's right, but he also is trying to fall under his parents. But I think at the end of the day, if he actually gained the position of king, then I think he'd actually be able to govern his people in a very graceful and wonderful way. The next question is of course about the queen. Who is your favorite female lead? And this actually is my favorite female lead, who is Selena Sardothian from the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. She's just awesome and cook butt, and I think she'd be really great as a ruler. I don't want to go into too many details about that because if you guys have read the series, you know why I think she'd be such a great queen. She's lived a horrible life and she's also lived an amazing life, and she's also scary and funny and witty and just all the wonderful things, so I think she'd just be the best queen ever. Next up we have the first prince, who is the most loyal male character, and for that I picked Peeta from the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. I love Peeta and I think that he is very loyal to Katniss throughout the series whenever he is in the right state of mind, and I'm sure most of you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I think that Peeta is very loyal even if Katniss is not. Peeta is loyal to the point of which Katniss does not deserve whatsoever because of the way that she treats him, especially throughout this book. But at the end of the day, I think that Peeta would be great as the first prince. Next we have the second prince, who is a laid-back male character. And for that, I'm going to go with Jace from the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. If you guys have read these books, then you know exactly how laid-back and casual he is in so many situations. Jace is just a great character overall, but it's kind of crazy how laid back he is whenever he should really be intense, and then sometimes he is intense whenever the situation doesn't really call for that. He is a very complex character, but I think at the end of the day he just wants to be very laid back. Next up we have the Headstrong Princess, which is a headstrong female character, and it was very hard to decide this one since there are just so many awesome headstrong female characters in books, but I chose one from a book that I've read recently, and that is Penryn from the Penryn and the End of Days trilogy by Susan E. And I just love her character. She is so headstrong almost to a fault. Most of the time she's very headstrong in a good way because she's just very caring about her little sister and her mother, and she will do absolutely anything to save them. Next up we have the King's Advisor, and this is the most trustworthy male character, and for that I chose Percy Jackson from the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series by Rick Riordan. And obviously Percy has a lot of faults, but I think at the end of the day you can definitely trust him with your life, and he's just such a very loyal character. And although he has a lot of funny things to say in dire situations, he can definitely help you out of them and rescue you. The next question is the Duke and Duchess, who is your favorite OTP, and for this I'm going to choose one from a book that I've recently read, and that is Lara Jean and Peter from To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Denny Han. I'm not saying whether they end up together or not, but I do love them whenever they are together. The next question is about the Lady-in-Waiting, or the Gentleman of the Bedchamber, who is the best supporting character. And for this, I'm just going to go with a cop-out, and that is the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. Pretty much all of the supporting characters within this book are just amazing, and they're very complex, and J.K. Rowling just really cares about her supporting characters and how they really lend to the story and how they all have their own unique personalities, and I just love that about all of her supporting characters. So I couldn't really pick out just one, but I do love Luna Lovegood. I'll just say that one as the specific one, but really all of them in the series are just amazing, and they all add a different element to the series. Next we have the Secret Traitor, who is the least trustworthy character, and for that I'm going to go with Amy Dunn from Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. If you have read this or know about it, then you probably know that Amy is just a horrible and complex and psychopathic character, and I would definitely not trust her with anything. I wouldn't even want to be in a room with her because she's just extremely scary. The next question is the Court Wizard, your favorite character with magical abilities, and for this question I picked Paige from the Bone Season series by Samantha Shannon. Her magical abilities are really awesome but also very scary. We don't even really know the limits of her powers yet, and so I think that just makes it even more amazing. But I think she definitely has a lot of tricks up her sleeves, so to speak, and so her magical abilities are really interesting and unique. The next question is all about the Royal Fool, which is about the funniest character, and I think that this is true in quite a few ways for this character, and that is Adrian from the Bloodline series by Rochelle Mead. He's both royal and extremely funny and also a fool, but his parts throughout the series just make me laugh, and I think that he contributes a lot to the story, especially in ways of hilarity, and he's just such an awesome character. But he also definitely has a lot of lines that are just laugh out loud funny. Next up we have the Gossiping Lady's Maid, the character who is most likely to spread court rumors. So of course for this question I felt like I just had to go with Celeste from the Selection Trilogy by Kira Cass, because Celeste is just such a horrible person and she definitely is just full of spreading rumors. She definitely loves doing it. I think that's more of just like a hobby to her. She just loves doing it so much, and so that is part of what makes her so horrible, and she would definitely be the Gossiping Lady's Maid. And last question is a handsome servant. Who is a male character that would be most likely to seduce a lady? And for that one I definitely had to choose Dmitry Belikov from the Vampire Academy series, of course, by Rochelle Mead. I feel like that kind of goes without saying, but I think it would only take one look from Dmitry Belikov and a lady would be completely seduced by him. So I think that he would just be perfect to be the handsome servant. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I definitely really enjoyed doing this tag. I thought it was a lot of fun, and now I'm gonna go get back to reading.